All right, we are back with Off Trail with Luke and Chandler. My name's Luke.
My name is Chandler.
And this is Off Trail.
Mm-hmm.
So today we have episode 2 of Photo Journeys. So last time we went through your entire photo journey, start to end.
Yes.
Where you began to where you are now, and a lot of the different steps along the way, And today we are going to do me. So we're going to go through my whole journey.
Yeah.
And mine, from the top-down view of everything, I split mine up a little differently to yours. But that's partly because you've lived here your whole life.
Yes.
And I have like bigger moments where it's like, oh, well, I moved out here.
Yeah.
And I was doing a little bit of photo stuff before that. So mine is almost more like life events.
Yeah.
That have separated things and not like, got a camera and now like I learned how to do this with editing, then this, like I pay attention more to this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like yours was more photo based.
Yes.
And mine's not.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to go through.
Yeah. So I'm excited to hear. So.
Yeah. So we're going to start. I think it's only right to start with the first photo I ever posted on Instagram. Really on social media because I had never used social media whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
And it's this photo of me laying on books.
That was the first one you ever posted?
The first photo I ever posted on Instagram. Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
It's obviously short hair, Luke, but
yeah. It's like, who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is.
But this photo, and along with a couple others, so I included another one here of me with a broadsword in front of one of my eyes.
It's still wild.
Yeah. So that one. And then there's another one, if you go back to the very top, Chandler, a photo of my dog, our family dog back at home. So this photo of our dog is easily, it's so funny because of all the photos I've taken, I think that's still my favorite.
Yeah.
And like these 3 photos, like signify me as a, at least learning, beginning photographer, trying to just find things to photograph in the Midwest. There's no landscapes, no great landscapes to take photos of.
Yeah.
And, a lot of this was during COVID too, so I wasn't like hanging out with other people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I, have some space in my basement. I'll set up my books on the ground.
Yeah.
We have don't ask me why, but we have a broadsword. My family back at home, 5-foot broadsword. It's sweet. And I was like, we have a sword I'll take some photos with, or I'll take my dog to the woods and let him run. Like, it's all you had to do. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, there's just nothing else to really like photograph.
Yeah.
And so like this little set is like me trying to figure it out on my own during COVID,
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like it's so different from what I do today.
It is, yeah.
And like, I think the photos are still really good. Like that one of my dog, it's God, I love that photo.
Yeah, I do too.
He's just where he belongs, running out in the woods.
Yeah. It's funny after meeting Deke, like it's like I'm like, yeah, that's
him. He's
so good.
It's where he belongs.
Yep.
So like those photos, I guess, mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Especially the books one. Like I redid the books one for a series later on. Like I guess it was last year.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's that's like where I started from. The first couple posts on Instagram. So then we're gonna go to this photo of a ring. A wedding ring.
Nice little detail shot.
Yeah. So this comes from my day. And, I don't have any other photos from this stuff because this is really the only one this is the best one. From really my start in, I don't know what I say, like commercial stuff, but with weddings. Like I started out in the weddings and portraits game. Thanks to my friend Olivia, who I recently got to see out here, which was fun.
Yeah.
But like I started in that space. And it was totally different, again, from what we do today. But this shot of a ring taken with my 100mm macro, like, is easily one of my favorite shots from, like, that phase. It's like, the detail of it, like, it's, like, creamy.
It's good.
In a way.
It's
and, like,
really good.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it reminds me of that phase of my life where, like, I was like, oh, maybe I'll start doing some of this full time, And I got to work with Olivia a bunch, and like it's like that's where I developed my roots, especially like with portraits. Like I was working with people and not doing landscape stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just, I don't know, it takes me back, and it's an important time, like in where I came from, you know, of starting out in that space, as opposed to like say starting out in landscapes here and then having to try to learn the portrait side or detail stuff after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for me, I think the transition from where I started to landscapes was easy,
Yeah.
but trying to go the other way, I think would be somewhat hard.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's the process. You know, we kind of talked about this in the last episode, but that's kind of the process that I'm going through from starting in landscapes and trying to move into different genres. And it's tricky. So
yeah, it's tough. But, you know, eventually, you know, kind of figure it out. And we're going to go to this next one where it's me taking a photograph of me in like a mirror in downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. And to me, this shot kind of like represents me finally taking on the identity of a photographer. And especially at the time, you know, going through COVID, this was like when I was transitioning out of volleyball.
Yeah.
So like I had kind of decided, I'm like, I'm done with volleyball. And not saying I was wanting to do like photo full time, but I was like, this photo thing's now like where the direction I want to go. I want to make this more a part of my life. And so this photo, like I look at them like, this was like me like accepting the fact that like I can finally move on from my past life and jump into something new.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly what I wrote in the caption when I posted this, but I wrote something along those lines. It's like, you know, it's me finally embracing my new path.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me. Like I have this one printed in black and white that I have up over my desk. Like this is a shot that, you know, it's nothing special.
Yeah.
This is not like an amazing shot, but it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time like I'm a photographer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I had maybe like 8 posts on Instagram at the time. Like it's not like I had much, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like me, I'm like, yes, this is me now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think, yeah. And I mean, I've definitely had, you know, that moment where it's like, you know, it just kind of hits you. You're like, yeah, this is what I'm doing now. You know, I am this thing.
And it's like a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
It's like it's something that I wish everyone could have if they're struggling to like figure out their identity with stuff. And like, you know, I went through that, and it's like, well, how do you finally move on from something? And
especially like in your case where you've dedicated so much time and
my life for 10 years of my life. At that point, and almost over half my life was around volleyball.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I literally know nothing different.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I did was centered around volleyball.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's a jump. And yeah, it's just something that I hope everyone can experience at some point if they struggle with that stuff. Because obviously it's led to where we are now. Like we're running a company that's centered around photo stuff and outdoor. Like,
yeah, you and I both definitely went through this same kind of experience. So.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, I look back at that photo, I'm like, that guy never would have thought that I'd be where I am today.
Same. Honestly, same. Like,
and
it's weird to think about. If I think back to 3 years ago, 4 years ago, even like when I started Bushwhackers, you know, in 2020.
Yeah.
Like thinking about like where this could be now.
Yeah.
No,
we're
never.
wearing merch.
Yeah. Like this never would have crossed my mind that like this was even an option.
Yeah.
So.
And that's it. I mean, I still love looking at it, but I think it's just cool because a simple photo like this, you know, I just saw this mirror. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Click. Like, there's a lot of meaning behind a photo like this.
Yeah.
And it just goes to like, you don't need to take the epic banger landscape photo.
Yeah. No.
Like, you can take photos like this for yourself. And it's just, it's a neat thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, moving on here. We have 3 portraits that we're going to show. And all 3 of these, this one of Stephen, the next one of little Rachel, and then the next one of Esther, they're all siblings of the same family. They were our neighbors that lived behind us back in Chicago. And this is just like my, I guess, beginnings of portraiture.
Yeah.
Now, these were not taken at the same time. The one of Stephen was taken, I'm trying to think, maybe like late 2020. And then the ones of Rachel and Esther were taken in 2021. So like there's a year apart from these, but
Yeah.
it's the same family, so I thought I'd include it. But like it's like, my beginning work in portraits.
Mm-hmm.
And like to me it's like meaningful. And for them, like that family, like I did 2 sessions of family portraits with them throughout the years. Like they were kind of the beginning of that for me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just a neat way to mark that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been around for a while. There's another sister in this family that also is a photographer. I actually don't have a photo of her, and I've been out with her shooting, but I need to get something of her.
Yeah.
But she needs to come out here. Hannah, if you're listening, you need to come out here. So make it happen so we can hang out. But so just the beginning of portrait, and then you can see again, the one is Steven's a little older, but like a lot of what I do is in those two.
Yeah.
But like we're gonna get to, but like my portraits have gotten, I think, a lot better since then. Certainly do a lot more than I was back then, but that's like where I started, And then we're gonna be getting into a couple of landscapes here, but before we get into like the West landscapes, I have 2 photos, and one is of my birth town and college town of Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's the downtown area. And then the second one is actually of my hometown where I grew up in Chicago. That lake's like near a house, right? And both of these photos, like to me, and the way I actually did use them when I posted them and everything, was like a goodbye to my old home.
Yeah.
Because like I moved out here, and it was like I belong out here.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going back.
You're a Westerner.
Yeah,
now.
it's like I'm going to be finally moving on.
Yeah.
From that part of my life. And so, it's cool to look at because like I feel that emotion in these shots.
Yeah.
And like obviously so much. 26 years of my life was spent between those 2 places.
Yeah.
Even the vast majority of like those days. I didn't spend much time outside of those 2 cities.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's a special thing. And they're obviously both taken with a drone. But yeah, it's just like, it's my way of saying I've committed to being somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like somewhere that I want to be.
Yeah. It is kind of cool that they were taking it at sunset too, because that kind of just hammers home a little bit more like the sun is setting on that, that
right?
time of your life.
Yeah.
So.
It's just, I don't know. And the one of my hometown where I grew up in particular with the lake, like, that is one I almost do want to get printed.
That'd be cool.
Because I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I do too. I was actually
tones and everything. I think it's great. The color in the Fort Wayne ones, but that was young Luke before he learned how to edit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it's meant to be like just a farewell. Like to that point in my life, it's like Aurora, Illinois, and Fort Wayne, Indiana. Like you were good to me.
Yeah.
But I'm moving on. Salt Lake City is even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah. It's just cool, Like I remember when I posted these, like I actually like I put them out near the end of the year too.
Yeah.
Because it was the end of the year 2021, I think.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so it was like, in so many ways, it was like it's ending.
Yeah.
And it was just a cool way to wrap that part up.
Yeah. I think that's cool too, because like you had been here for a little bit at that point.
Yeah,
like, been here
7 months maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
And that was those 7 months were before everything we did took off.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
At that point, I hadn't like done anything really here.
No, I think we had known each other for like
a month.
2 months, I think.
Yeah, like not long.
Yeah, and we had, I don't know, we had maybe gone on like 2 little trips or something.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And
much.
they weren't like trips; they were just like more. I don't know. We went to the sand dunes, and then like we went hiked one time.
Yeah,
like that's it.
Yeah. And it's crazy how all that works, But we'll move on to this next one. And this photo is from Glacier National Park, aka my favorite place on earth. I went there. This was the late summer of 2021. And I went there with one friend, my friend Bree, and we had maybe 15 minutes of direct sunlight the entire weekend.
Really?
3.5 days, whatever it was, like no sun.
That's crazy.
Just clouds, rain, wind, all of it, but no sun. And so it's like, I never got to see this place in its full glory,
Yeah.
but I knew that this was the place.
Yeah.
It's just majestic.
Yeah.
And like this photo was the best one that I got from my time there. And I sat on this for a while because I never knew how to edit it because it was just kind of gloomy. And then I figured it out. And a lot of the other photos were edited very similarly to be like very moody. But I used this photo as like a chapter in my photo journey because this was like the first good landscape that I ever got.
Yeah.
I mean, I've taken some other ones, but like this one, like when I first saw that edit and everything, I was like, I just want to go back. Like I just got sucked in.
Yeah.
And it's like, this place is amazing.
It really does do that. It does a good job of kind of bringing you in. So,
and it's like, that was the beginning of me being like, I'm doing landscapes now.
Yeah.
It's game on.
Yeah.
And it's cool, I still don't think like from then through the rest of the year and everything, there was a ton of other really, really good ones, but this was like the first one. It's like I've arrived on the scene.
Yeah.
Like I'm a landscape guy now.
Yeah.
So that's why I use that one. And Glacier is just a beautiful place.
Yeah. I love this. I love a lot of the photos that you got from Glacier. I mean, I didn't know you when you went to Glacier.
Yeah.
But the ones that I've seen, here and there throughout the last couple of years, it's just cool. I need to go. I've never been, so
yeah, you gotta go. It's a great place.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on now to, I guess, part of me wants to say this is like my iconic Salt Lake shot. Like this is a shot that I got with my drone, obviously, of the Capitol up in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And this is like for me, it's like that's my new home.
Yeah.
Like I found my place.
Yeah.
And like this is of all the photos I have like of Salt Lake, this is my favorite one.
Yeah.
And it's hands down. Like there's not even a close second.
No, it's so good.
Like I got so lucky with the light. My edit's good for it. Like it's just like I have a hard time finding a better shot than this one.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to make that like this is my new place. Like I see that in this photo. And it's like what I used to feel like, for like Fort Wayne, like I feel that now with Salt Lake when I see this photo.
Yeah.
And it's just cool for that, it's the final transition. Like I'm here.
Yeah.
Man, it's sweet. And I kind of threw this one in all the faces of the photographers who go crazy for the cherry blossoms when they come out. But
I'm yet to shoot the cherry blossoms. So.
But that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
So now that we're in Salt Lake, we have this photo of Travis. And this is a special time, like for me, because I met Travis before I met you.
Yeah.
Like I met, our buddy Ted before. Like Ted was the first one I met when I moved here. And then Ian was my neighbor in my apartment complex.
Oh yeah.
When I lived downtown. And so like I knew those two, but they were the only ones that, took photos. That I had met for like 5 months, 6 months, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And Travis was the first one that I had seen his work on Instagram. And I'm like, hey, dude, you got great work. We should hang out.
Yeah.
And, he's like literally like now my oldest friend I have in Salt Lake City because Ted moved out,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, actually Ian's gone too.
Yeah.
Like Travis is now my oldest friend that I have in Salt Lake City. And like that this is not the first hike we did together, but it's actually the second one. But it's like the mark of when I started to finally find a group of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't remember. Let's see, it didn't remember Third Us. I guess it wasn't much longer after that. But like finding like Travis was the beginning of like, okay, now I have all these other friends that are photographers that we can go hang out with and do stuff with.
Yeah.
Because it was even before we, had our first core group of guys that I met Travis. And, now you look at like what we do. It's like what I did with Travis is exactly what we do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's like, hey.
Sometimes multiple times a weekend.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, you got cool stuff. We should hang.
Yeah.
Like, we have no idea who these people are.
Oh yeah. No,
You know, I literally had no idea who Travis was.
yeah. Which it's so funny because and this is something that I talked a little bit about on the last episode. When Bryce came out here, I'd never met Bryce.
Yeah.
And homie flew in from Illinois. I can't remember which one. Illinois. And he flew in. We met him at like a gas station. Like that's where we were meeting. That's where our meetup point was. And then it was just like we showed up at the gas station. We're like, I think that's Bryce. And then it was like, I think that's Chandler. And it's just funny because like you're just told not to meet people on the internet. Like
and we literally do it on a regular. basis.
Literally everybody we know.
We break all the normal rules of like how to safely.
We met on the
people.
internet.
Yeah. You and me, yeah. Like it's just it's the way we do it.
Yeah.
And like I just think it's really cool that like it started with Travis.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like now we have a huge circle of people that we regularly go out with.
Yeah.
And quite literally, everyone we've met is because of Instagram.
Yep.
We just see their stuff. We're like, we should hang out. Like Road Dog. Road Dog there's a good story of how we met Road Dog. Like we were going up to do Grandeur Peak one morning. And this was back in 2021.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to, get a couple guys together. We had, I don't know, like 5 of them or whatever. I think my cousin was there that morning.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I must have been following Luke already, but I saw his story. He was saying something like, hey, guys, like I've been here for a couple of years now, and, I'm just trying to find some people to go shoot with. And I literally had no idea who this guy was.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I'm like, well, we're doing Grandeur Peak tomorrow. You should come.
Yeah.
And it was like, and he came, and like he's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Like he's such a good dude.
Yeah.
And like what I did with Travis is like the same thing we've done with everyone, and it's just such a special thing to like share and kind of see in a photo. It's like that's how we've met all of our friends.
Yep.
And it's so cool.
Yeah.
To have like a mark, like this was the beginning of that.
Yeah.
Because even before that, I was on my own basically.
Yeah.
Like wasn't going out anywhere. Like I was solo for a lot of that time.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
And then like met Travis. Can't remember who we met next after that. Derek. It was like Travis, Derek, and then I think I met you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, and then we had all the other guys from Grandeur. Like,
yeah.
Like it's
slowly.
Or
wait, no. So I think it was Travis, and then you, me, and Daniel went bowling, or was that before?
No, I don't know. Either way, not
whatever.
important to figure out.
Yeah.
But it's just cool to have like a mark of like when.
That's a cool photo to mark it too.
Oh yeah, this is a sweet photo of Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. But like it's just it's cool to have like a mark of like when that ball started rolling and to see like where we're at now.
Yeah.
Like that's really, really cool.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. But before we get going, we're gonna reset our cameras because we have that time limit. We good?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to move on. And now we're going to get into some more serious photo action here.
Yeah.
So the next one we have are my spaceman photos. So first one's just basically, a normal side profile shot with the guy with the space helmet on. And then the next one, there's a smoke grenade going on. And I include this because like on its own, it's just, I think it's a fine photo. It's nothing crazy, but like the edit is what makes this.
Yes.
And the reason I include this is because this was like the first time where I had some kind of sense of like, okay, I can really do some cool things with editing. And I feel like some of these things like other people don't know how to do.
Yeah.
Because the story behind this was we were at the Salt Flats and we're hanging out. There's like 12 of us there.
Yeah.
And, this guy brought his helmet and I don't know who brought the smoke grenades, but we're like, we should take photos of him with the helmet on, which was awesome. But there's like 6 or 7 of us taking photos. And we had an amazing sunset in the background. Like colors were tremendous.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to take all of the color out of the photo.
Yeah.
Like, I kid you not, the raw of that has an amazing sunset in the back.
Yeah.
But, like, no one would ever know if they didn't see the other people's photos.
Yeah.
Like, I took the edit in a completely different direction than everyone else's photos.
Yeah.
And to me, this is my personal taste, I think it makes the photo.
I think it does too. I think the color. So I've seen everybody else's photos.
Yeah.
And from a critical standpoint, I think the color in the rest of everybody else's photos takes away from the impact that this photo has the potential of having.
Yeah.
And I think editing it like this, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, I genuinely just believe this, the way that it's edited has so much more impact than those other photos.
Yeah.
So,
and like it was then I was like, I know what I'm doing.
yeah.
And it was like a cool moment. Like when I posted this, I remember talking to you about this. Like I was like, hey, I have this idea for a caption. Like I just want to post and say checkmate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to like prove a point like I'm better.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that too aggressive? Like, should I not say that?
Yeah.
But like I did it, and it's like, it's to me, it's like that signifying moment. It's like, I know what I'm doing. Like, don't underestimate me with this. Like,
I remember because you showed me this, I was over at your apartment. And you're like, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And you're like, let me show you the before.
Yeah.
And
it's a drastic difference.
It's a drastic difference, but then it did, like when I saw the edited version, compared to the before version, I did have a moment of like, oh, this dude, because I didn't know you very well,
Yeah,
and I was
we only like hung out like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't long. It only been a couple months, and I was like, this dude knows what he's doing, and I was like, this dude, I thought I had a pretty good grasp on what was going on. And then I was like, oh, no, I don't.
Until you see someone turn a fully colorful sunset completely white.
And have it be better than the colorful one. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it's a cool thing. Like I felt good about myself in that moment. So
yeah,
it's just a defining moment in my journey. Now we have what might be my best photo I've ever taken. It's a waterfall of Tokerville Falls here in Utah. And this was the first time, literally the first time I'd ever tried an HDR shot. And it's funny because it's an HDR and long exposure. So like really trying to blend these together.
Yeah.
But like I had never tried this kind of photo before. And again, like it ended up getting me like my best photo that I've ever taken. Yeah. And it's like a special moment for me because like it was shooting something in a different way I'd never done before. Yeah. And I don't know, like there's not much else to that. It's like me trying to fight, like I finally figured out how to take like landscape stuff to another level. And it's like, I did it. Yeah. And it's just, another tool under your belt. Yeah. So
I love this. I literally love everything about this photo. It's just.
Yeah. I think somehow the water just turned out perfect.
It did. Yeah.
Like love how that water turned out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I could look at it all day. But yeah, it's just like me, being like, yep, I'm figuring some things out with landscapes, which is cool. Now we're going to go to, this is a photo that when I showed you for the first time, you were speechless. Yeah. And I mean, it's easily one of my favorite photos. And this to me signifies like, I mean, it's a drone shot and it's not like my first drone shot, but it kind of signifies to me the act of trying to find new things because I'd never seen a shot like this before.
I never had either. That's part of why when you showed it to me, I was like, wait, that's an option? Like you can shoot that like that?
Yeah. Like I had never seen this before. Yeah. And I've seen it a little bit since. Like I've seen people take a shot similar to this. Yeah, you have. I've seen this. Yeah. But like, yeah, and this is not the shot you get at this place. No. Like to me, that's the cool thing. Yeah. And the other cool thing is like this shot, if you zoom in really close, you can see I'm actually on the spot where you shoot the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Like so, like it's almost like a one-up thing. It's like, yeah, I took a unique shot while I'm on the shot. Yeah. So, yeah. But it's like this is like the goal. It's like trying to find new things and just exploring the world in that way to not just repeat what everyone else has done.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one thing that like one of the downsides maybe of seeing everybody else's stuff on Instagram is you see the shot and you're like, I have to get the shot, and you get there and you don't ever think about it. It doesn't push you to think about what else can I do with this? What else can I how else can I shoot this? If you go into it with a completely fresh eye, like you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And you'll get something really cool out of it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like I do this all the time. I mean, I'm guilty just the same as everyone else is. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, like that's the shot. I'm gonna go take that one.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like,
It doesn't mean those shots are bad.
yeah, but like that was like the first moment. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
check this one out.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it got a lot of attention from a lot of people who know where that spot is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna dive into what has kind of become maybe something I'm more known for now, which is top downs.
Yeah. You're getting there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's taking a larger part of my portfolio. I mean, I made a whole new account for
It's true.
it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so we're gonna start out with a couple of these, and it's gonna just get progressively crazier as we scroll
These
through
places
them.
are absurd.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nothing but absurd.
Yeah.
Just casual road, and then we get a nice little river through a forest, a sand dune from on top.
Yeah. Which is every time I see this shot, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, and I actually re-edit. So the funny thing is, we posted this on Bushwhackers a long time ago.
We did?
Not this edit.
What?
I came back to it. Yep.
Wait, did you take this when we went to Little Sahara?
No, this is from Wyoming.
Oh, maybe I remember it then. Obviously I don't recognize it from the edit.
I totally changed the edit, and it's so much.
You know what's funny? So when I was going back today on the account to try to find some of my old stuff, because I used to use Bushwhackers as my personal account, and I passed some photos, and I think I remember seeing this and being like, I don't remember posting that.
Which also, I'm realizing right now, dude, your color is way off from what mine looks like.
Yeah. I also have a way newer phone than you.
Yeah, well,
So,
rub it in, why don't you?
yeah.
But yeah, like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then we get to this one. When I showed you, it was the same thing. You're like, wait, what?
I was like, where the heck is that?
And then the spot was not where you thought it was.
No, it's not. Yeah.
And then this one, you were with me when I got this one.
Yeah.
And that's the edit on that one's awesome. I love it. And then this crazy one, octopus looking thing.
It does look like an octopus, yeah.
Yep, that one was sweet. And then we got this little river running through a canyon too. And you were with me when I got that one.
I was going to say, I think I was there for that too, yeah. There's a bunch of these.
And then finally what I think is my best one.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, like this is easily the best top down I've ever taken. Like it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's so good.
And it's just an interesting part of like my journey, because for the longest time, like I was not taking these.
Yeah.
And like I told people like I can't see these very well. Like I don't know how to take these.
That's how I kind of am.
And then for whatever reason, it clicked.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And like again, right now I literally have a folder in my Lightroom of like 150 of these.
Which is
It's absurd.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's insane.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
And it's like somehow I can see these really well. And I mean, I'll tell you what too, to edit these, basically just take the dehaze slider, baby.
Yeah.
And crank that up.
Crank it to the right.
And it does most of the work for me.
Yeah.
I can't claim to be a master at editing these.
Yeah.
But it's just become like such a staple of my work.
Yeah.
Somehow. And I don't know, I love it. I love these types of shots.
Yeah, they're cool.
And I feel like a lot of people try and they just don't quite get it right.
That's how because it's like when I send the drone up, like I see all this, and that's one thing that's kind of funny maybe about me and photography is it's like I see a lot of the abstract stuff. I see it all the time. Like no matter where I am, I'm always like, that'd be kind of a cool photo, but I'm like too nervous to take it.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like I'm scared to try it, and I do, and I never really quite get it right.
Yeah, you gotta go for it, man.
I know it's just a matter of like making it happen. But yeah, every time I see one of these top downs, I'm just always
and like they're just like they're mind blowing. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
I especially love the ones where like I don't know where they are, because all of them like I was there for almost all of the ones that you took on those. Because I was there for this one.
I think you were there for three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 of the 8.
Was I not there for that? Oh no, we went there at separate times.
Yeah. And you weren't
Same
there for
with that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're only there for less than half of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you've been to half these places, and like sometimes especially like with the way I like that one.
I cannot figure it out.
The way I edit them, it's like, dude, you have no clue where this is.
No idea. I genuinely it literally looks like it could be on the moon.
Yeah.
It literally does.
Yeah. And there's a couple other ones, like I know one I took in New Mexico.
Yeah.
That like.
Yeah.
That you're like, where is this one? I was like, you've been there, dude. You were there with me.
Yeah.
And you were like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's in New Mexico.
This is one thing that's kind of funny about going out and taking photos when you're there, is because a lot of times it's kind of like this shot, you'll just take these crazy shots. You know, everybody else is chimping, showing each other their shots, and you're just like, yeah.
Like, yeah, and I don't say anything about it.
And then it's like, oh, did you get cool shots? You're like, yeah, I think maybe.
Yeah. I think generally I like it. You know?
Yeah.
And come back home, Lightroom, pull it up after edit, and you're like, wait, what?
Like, what the heck, man?
Like when we went to Southern Utah, I got like 20 of those top downs.
Yeah.
And just showed you all at once. I'm like, here's what I did.
I'm over there like taking HDR or HDR photo panos and stuff like,
Yeah.
And you're like, bam, bam,
I'm
bam,
like,
bam,
bam. Bro, I got content for 5 months.
Yeah. From like 10 minutes of shooting.
Yeah, from 30 minutes of flying. It's awesome. But yeah, I don't know. Top downs are just, it's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's just another like thing. It's like I do somehow now. And it's neat.
Yeah.
You know, just more range to what I do.
Yeah, it's cool.
And speaking of range, we're going to go into the next thing, which is just like, it's constantly trying to improve my craft.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we talked about this a little bit on yours too, but it's street photos.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, like I wasn't good at street photos, but like this set that I had recently posted, of being like right somewhere in downtown Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the street that's right there. I think it's 200 South. But like this set is just like
it's cool.
It works. Like, and the edit on it, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but like it's really good.
Yeah.
And these are not like all the same building, but yeah, I edited it to make it all look like it's the same building.
Yeah.
Or at least like the similar kind of style. There's actually 3 different buildings in this. Yeah, it's just neat. It's like before I could never have seen these photos, but like, you know, you do it a couple times and you talk to someone like Saul, who's been a big help in trying to figure out how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And suddenly like you start to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's like with that kind of collaboration, like that's how you improve very fast.
Yeah.
You know, same thing like you and me, like there's a ton of examples.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you're willing to like try to go talk to someone, go out into their turf and learn from them, like you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And now again, like just like with top downs or how I can do portraits and landscapes, like my range is just expanding.
Yeah.
And it's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's like I can literally go shoot anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's a cool thing.
Yeah. No, it is really cool.
And street photos are fun.
They are.
I'm finding it more and more fun. So
yeah.
It's cool. But okay, we're going to get into a little hefty section here.
All right.
A lot of examples.
Let's go hefty.
And that is me really figuring out portraits and like taking it to the next level. And you give me that look, you're like, dude, I can't. And yes, I'm starting with the one with Ramon. But like, you know, there's a bunch here that we'll just quickly scroll through. But like all these Ramon, this one of Kevin, which the one of Kevin is just,
it's good.
He looks so good.
Yeah.
You know, this one of Tanner is awesome. We've talked about this one of Parker on the show before. Mm-hmm. And same with this one, Travis. I think we talked about this one.
We did,
of
yeah.
RB.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one of you. I mean, we've talked about a handful of these on the show, right?
Yeah.
So we don't need to spend time. This one of Isabel is a new one. I posted it already, but like we haven't talked about this one.
Yeah.
But like it's just an example, like, you know, I'm really starting to see portraits a lot differently than I used to.
Yeah.
And it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can get content that like no one else can get.
Yeah.
And it's a blast. I mean, like this is one that someone's like, "Hey, this should be like a magazine cover."
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know? And like it's fun. This one in Nimitz, which I have not posted yet. I love this shot.
This one's
Nimitz.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a good little headshot of Nimitz.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Good dude. And then this one of Saul, the legend of the streets.
Yeah.
Like, you know? It's cool, like capture him in his element like that.
It is, yeah.
This one of Carly's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, this one of Anna from this recent little retreat that I helped her out with.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's a good shot. And again, this one's like one. It's like I was with a whole bunch of other portrait photographers. At the time. That's who's my foreground, right? They're all like, you know, trying to get their shot of her without anything in their foreground. I'm like, I'll use you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just sticking my camera right over their shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, and like I get that shot, and I love it.
Yeah,
it's a great shot of her.
It's a good one.
And I'm gonna end portraits with this one of my friend Olivia, and you know, it's just.
And where it all began.
You know, we're not done with the whole thing, but like to end portraits at least, like I don't know, like this is a special shot for me.
Yeah,
like getting to see her in Utah, my new home, and getting a portrait shot of her. This is quite literally like one of the only shots I have of her for how much time I've spent with her. Like I don't have a photo of her like this. You know, I have some selfies and all that stuff, but like I don't have a legitimate portrait of her.
Yeah.
And now I do. And like I think it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's very meaningful because she's the one that started all this for me.
Yeah.
You know, she taught me a lot of portraits, got me into the wedding stuff. And like I kind of learned from her. And this is not the same kind of portraits she does. Like I take my own twist to it.
Yeah.
But like nothing I do in photography on Instagram, anything like that, would have been possible without her. Yeah. And it's like, in a way, it's all come full circle.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. And like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like she was the one that inspired me to try to really get into this more at the early stages. And like, here I am, you know, I think I'm a good photographer now. And it's like, it's a lot because of her. Yeah. And it's cool to share that with her now. And have it like, you know, on record almost. Yeah. So it's just
it's a great shot too.
She's the best. Yeah. So, yep. Okay, we're gonna move on. This next section, and I promise this is almost done. Is do we need to change our cameras?
Yeah, we're at 19.
Well, how about we just do it real quick, and then we'll be good for the rest of the episode. Changing cameras. Bear with us. We don't have the right technology for this.
Yeah, stupid embargoes.
But let's finish this out here. And we're going to, this section is, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 photos that signify kind of my new focus with what I'm trying to do. And it's not so much chasing a photo as it is chasing an experience. Like when I go out now, I want to go find cool things to do and come back with an awesome story. Yeah. And so the first one is a storm chasing photo that I got when I was with Paige on, this was in South Dakota? Yeah, South Dakota. Like, that was such a cool experience. Yeah. Something I never thought I'd do. Yeah. You know, when I tell people, yeah, I went storm chasing, like, wait, what? Yeah. Like, that's neat. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it was sweet. It was awesome. And like, this is my favorite photo from like that set that I got. And it's amazing to look at. Then this hike from, you know, the Tetons, like that was such an incredible hike and morning just to have that alpenglow. Like that alpenglow's real. Yeah. And I didn't just color the mountain red. Yeah. Like it's just like to have a moment like that up there, we're the only ones up there. The lake is perfectly still. Like, you can't ask for more than that. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I got an awesome photo. But like, honestly, if I didn't get the photo, I almost wouldn't even care. Yeah. Because it's one of the best hikes I've ever done. Yeah. And it's just amazing. You know? And then we get a photo from Oregon, which when I first showed you this one. Like, and this one, like, it's funny because
this one kind of makes me mad.
Yeah.
Like when I see this photo, I'm like, I don't even know how to, like, I don't have words because it's so good. And it's like, I went there and I was at this exact same spot with the exact same conditions. Yeah. And I never would have even thought to try to shoot this.
Yeah. You know, like I was just there. I saw the water coming into this little channel and crashing up against the rocks. I'm like, Yup.
Just filled with jealous rage.
Yeah, and like, you know, it's like because I remember being there on those rocks. I'm like, I'm staying until I get the shot.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I got it. But it's like, it just that whole the conditions, like the day, it was just amazing, and it's like the shot of the trip for me.
It's
And
good.
you know, it's like that whole Oregon trip. It's like it was awesome,
Yeah.
and you know, something I'd like to go do again. But something like this is enough for now.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go next to my lava photo from Hawaii. I mean, this one I literally called you.
You FaceTimed me.
I was done like shooting a little bit, but like I literally called you. I was like, you need to fucking see this. Like,
Yeah.
dude, this is amazing. Like, you know, it was like 1 o'clock our time here in Utah when I'm in Hawaii.
I was laying in bed.
Yeah.
I was like trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, I was like, Chandler, you need to see this.
Yeah.
And like, it's just one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
It's insane.
Like, I will never forget that.
Yeah.
To see an erupting volcano, you know, and it's just such a cool experience to have under my belt. And I have another shot. I didn't pick it for this, but like of the volcano erupting underneath the starry sky.
Yeah.
And like I feel like almost like I don't deserve that.
Yeah.
Like
I do.
But like to have the opportunity to do that, it's like it means more than any photo I could take of it.
Yeah.
It's like just to see it.
Yeah.
You know, and like this whole idea is summed up perfectly.
Yeah.
In the most epic thing I've ever done. And that is hike Lake Blanche in the winter, in the first snow of the year.
Yeah.
1.5 feet, 2 feet of powder the whole way up. We made the trail. And like, you know, this is an iPhone photo.
Yeah.
I didn't even take my camera out because my hands were too frozen. And like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing I've ever done. And it really captures the idea. It's like, you got to do things for the experiences. Like, yeah, if you get an awesome photo, great. You know, and like, it's fun to capture that stuff. But like, you know, this photo helped me remember that whole day, that trip. But it will never compare to like the feeling that I get when I think about that, of being there, of being the first one to see Lake Blanche under snow.
Yeah.
For last year, right? It's like, you know, nothing will ever compare to that.
Yeah.
And there's so much more you can get out of life, out of photos and everything, if you focus on doing the experience first.
Yeah.
And then see if you can get a photo out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, we go down in the desert, like, I honestly don't really care. Like, I'm like, I'll get a photo, I guess. You know, whatever. But like, the things that I want to try to do this year, it's like, let's go do some cool things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and if I get a photo, awesome. If not, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I think you should do things for the experience and the story over the photo.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be able to tell you about this awesome thing I did.
Yeah. I totally agree.
You know? And it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So that's this set. And the last photo that I have is me at this other place in southern Utah. It's this really cool, like, sand dune inside of a cave. Me looking out, and to me, just kind of wrapping this entire journey up, it's me embracing this lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, this lifestyle that makes me drive almost 40,000 miles in my truck a year. Like, just looking for cool places to be, photos, experiences, all of it. It's like, it's just the quest for adventure.
Yeah.
You're trying to find, that's what it is. It's just like, it's like the epic story of the adventure. It's like, I just want to go out there and see the world.
Yeah.
And like, this photo encapsulates that feeling.
Yeah, it really does.
And, you know, it's just like, I love, like, that's what I think about when I see this. It's like, this is me and this is where I belong.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I tell people, it's like, I'm not going to move back home.
Yeah.
To the Midwest. Like, it's not happening. My parents know I'm staying here.
Yeah.
Like, this is where I need to be. Like, I belong out there.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, obviously there's more chapters that will come in my story.
Yeah.
But like, for this right now, at this point in time, that's the final chapter.
Yeah.
It's like, this is it. This is my life now.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
It is weird. It's like, I didn't move here,
Yeah.
but I did move into this kind of world, very similar to the way that you did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So it is funny because I relate to this. And, in my segment, I had a photo exactly like this where it was like.
Yeah. Yours like at the beginning.
Mine was like at the beginning where it was like, here we go, And yeah, so I relate to this a ton. And it's a cool photo. I have yet to be here.
Yeah.
Come here too. So
and I've been 3 times.
Yeah.
Although once was a failed attempt. But
oh, yeah.
but like the other thing about this photo too is like I have this one of me, but like I have basically the same shot of my parents.
Yeah.
Standing up
cool.
there.
Yeah.
Like in a way, it's almost like my parents got to see me.
Yeah.
In this new life.
In your element.
And
yeah.
like it's just special.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a neat way to wrap this whole thing up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my journey. That's all I got.
Love it.
It's fun to go through this again. We talked about it last time. But it's a good exercise.
Yeah.
Like I think you really should go through this because like it's a real way of like reflecting not only on like your work and your say career path. This is what you do or your hobby, but like just your life.
Yeah.
Like again, like yours were a lot more like photo based, like like editing what you pay attention to, all that stuff, like your progression through the skill. And mine was like, this is my life.
Yeah.
And it's just,
yeah,
it's just a cool way.
That is one thing that I think that you do. I mean, I do this. I'm just naturally a very sentimental person. I look back at those old iPhone photos that I take.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gosh, man, like it takes me back. It's weird to go, but I'm not taking photos of people, and I don't have one. There are that many that are like signifying moments like you do, but I still like have all the same feelings.
Yeah.
It's
that's like the joy of photos.
Yeah.
And again, there's a balance because I've been saying like, oh, like do the experience, not go for the photo, but like you get a photo of some sort to capture it because when you look back on that, like just like the Lake Blanche one again, I don't have like the amazing high quality camera shot of the place, but I took my phone out real quick, bloop, quick photo, and like I was quick, like in and out, like I wasn't like, oh, let's frame this up, like it was like, oh, quick shot and back in the pocket, and then just to top it off, like Will got that amazing shot of me walking up, like awesome, but like when I look at that photo now, I immediately get immersed back into that moment. And not that you can't do that without the photo, but the photo helps.
It sure does. Photos are powerful.
Yeah.
So.
And like to me, like that's why you should take a photo.
Yeah.
It's not just to, put it on Instagram and have fun and get likes and follows and all that stuff that really doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like do it to capture your life.
Yeah. All this stuff, like when I look back at my stuff and when I look back at, just looking back through your stuff as well, it just, I don't know, I'm just filled with Gratitude. Yeah.
It's like it's been an amazing ride.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, if it ended now, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Like what more could I ask for than all this?
Yeah.
It's just a good, thing to do from time to time. Just look back and take note of where you came from.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's end it on that.
Yeah, let's do.
If you're listening to this on podcasts, we're on all major podcasting platforms. So be sure to follow us there and subscribe to our channel. And if you're watching this, because there's a highly visual element, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Really helps us out. It's the best thing you can do for us, really. Yeah. But give this video a little like, and, feel free to comment on it too. What did you like about it?
Yeah.
And, we'll figure out what we can get out next. Have some fun making content. But it's stuff like this, I think, is the most fun to make.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea in our photo journeys, and it's a good way to connect with people.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's always fun to look back. But now we're looking forward.
Bushwhackers 2023.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.